Donald Trump is making an all-in push in the key swing state of Michigan. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 presidential election because everyone, the state of Michigan is going to be a key swing state this November. Obviously, most people can agree that, yeah, if Trump were to win Michigan this November, he's probably winning the presidency. That's how important of a state it really is. And well, his campaign, I think, understands that. As Trump did a bunch of campaign stops in Michigan today, and while these campaign stops are not going to decide the race or anything like that, it's still fascinating to see where Trump's exactly campaigning. Who are the groups that he's actually targeting for this November? Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, social support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, let us get into it. Donald Trump will use back-to-back stops Saturday to court black voters and a conservative group that has been accused of attracting white supremacists, of course. The AP cannot go 5 seconds without mentioning white supremacy, the racists in the Republican Party. Really? So, right off the bat, they're already accusing Trump of trying to attract white supremacists to his coalition. As the Republican presidential candidate works to stitch together a coalition of historically divergent interests in battleground Michigan, and that's an understatement, what Trump is doing, and again, ignore the white supremacy crap. I am getting sick and tired of hearing this for anyone that's remotely conservative. No, believing in the Second Amendment doesn't make you a white supremacist. No, believing in freedom of speech doesn't either. And the fact that AP and other outlets keep saying the same crap every single day, it's just baffling to me. And some people actually believe it. That's the scary part. There are people that actually believe, oh my goodness, the Republican Party is full of white supremacists. Trump is scheduled to host an afternoon roundtable at an African-American church in downtown Detroit. Imagine saying that, what, 8 years ago? Hell, let alone 2 years ago. I would have never believed this line that, yeah, Trump is hosting an event at an African-American church in Detroit. About as Democrat as you can get. And Trump somehow was able to host a round table at this church. I mean, think about that. This is a group that has never voted Republican at least the past 100 years. They have been extremely Democrat. And Trump is supposedly the far-right candidate. And guess what? They are willing to have a round table with Trump, which is just crazy to think about. They would never have one with Bush, never have one with Romney. But Donald Trump is probably the first Republican to ever even show up to this church. I may be wrong, but when was the last time you heard of any Republican going to a church like this? Especially in Detroit. This is not a Republican area. This is one of those Democrat cities in America. Later, he'll appear at the People's Convention, Turning Point Action, a group of the Anti-Defamation League says has been linked to a variety of extremists, of course. If you ever hear the Anti-Defamation League say something, ignore it. Because these people really believe, if you're to the right of, say, Lisa Murkowski, you're a white supremacist and, you're a far-right fascist or some BS like that. That's the Anti-Defamation League in a nutshell. So ignore what they say about the white supremacists and they attract the extremists. Trump's weekend plan to underscore the evolving political forces shaping the presidential election this fall as he tries to deny Democratic President Joe Biden a second term. Few states are expected to matter more in November than Michigan, which Biden carried by less than 3 points 4 years ago. And this isn't a must-win state for Trump, but if he were to win Michigan, there's no way he loses. I just don't see, mathematically speaking, him losing if he wins Michigan. Because at that point, he's winning Georgia, he's winning Arizona, he's more than likely winning Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. So if Trump is doing that good in Michigan, well, he's probably winning. And few voting groups matter more to Democrats than African Americans, who made up the backbone of Biden's political base in 2020. But now, less than 5 months before Election Day, black voters are expressing modest signs of disappointment with the 81-year-old Democrat. That's never good to hear. Can you imagine if in 2020 we heard that the white evangelical voters disappointed with Trump, if we would have heard that, I guarantee you, every quote-unquote political expert would have said, Donald Trump has no pathway to victory and it's over for him. Well, now, the main Democrat voter, which is African Americans, they are not happy with Biden. But now it's like, it doesn't really matter, it's just a small deal. If it's true that he's doing that bad with black voters, there is no pathway for him to win. None. The fact that we're finally getting organizations like the AP, NBC to finally admit, yeah, Biden might have a problem with these voters. Michael Whatley, the new chairman of the Republican National Committee, told Michigan Republicans at a dinner Friday that the state could not be more important. Everybody knows if we don't win Michigan, we're not going to have a Republican in the White House, Whatley said. I disagree with that, but I understand what he's saying, that if we win Michigan, Trump wins. I agree with that, but if he loses Michigan, I mean, he doesn't need it. But I understand that, hey, we just want to win Michigan just in case something crazy happens in Pennsylvania. I understand that, but I don't think it's a must-win state. It's not like, Georgia, where if Trump loses Georgia, his pathway to the presidency is, I think, dead at that point, but it's not like that. I think Trump's gonna win Georgia. Michigan's one of those states where if you win it, yeah, you got the presidency. If you lose it, it sucks, but you still have a good chance of winning. Trump argues he can pull in more black voters due to his economic and border security message, and that his felony indictments make him more relatable. And I know this sounds crazy, the second part, but let's talk about the first part for a second. I 100% agree that, yeah, his economic and border security message is going to help him quite a bit. Because people are now seeing the Democrat Party in control. That this is the first time since, 2010? That, for at least for a couple of years, Democrats controlled the presidency, they controlled Congress. I know it was 50-50 in the Senate, but they had the VP. So they had control of the government. And it was a complete disaster. It still is, but when they were in total control, everyone got to see what the Democrat Party would do with power. And everyone realized, oh crap, we made a mistake. Because, like, for example, border security, why would people in Detroit care about it? Well, because guess what? The disaster at the southern border doesn't just impact Texas. It doesn't impact just Arizona. I don't get why people think it does. Yes, they deal with the blunt of the illegal immigration, obviously. But where do you think these illegal migrants are going? Of course, some of them are staying in, say, Texas or Arizona. But the vast majority of them are being shipped off to New York City, to Chicago, Philly, Detroit. Are these border cities? No. So it's idiotic to say, well, the southern border doesn't impact people in Chicago. Yes, it does. Because migrants are being shipped to these cities. And they're overwhelming social services everywhere. This is a fact. Look at what's happening in New York City. There's a shutdown in schools for days to house these migrants. What does that tell you? They are getting overwhelmed. Hell, you have voters in deep blue Chicago going to City Hall daily at this point saying, hey, our neighborhood got flooded with migrants. It's become less safe. We're getting no help. And what are we supposed to do? So it's like, this isn't just, Republicans making a grand conspiracy. These are Democrats admitting, yeah, we have a problem. And of course, you got to talk about the drugs. We're not talking about just a small quantity of fentanyl. No. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of people dying because of it. Is that just a small amount? And do you really think it's just in the border states? Of course it's not. It's across America, especially in bigger cities. We are seeing hundreds of thousands of people dying each year because of this. But either way, I do think this is just common sense that, yeah, what's happening with the southern border and the economy, it's gonna help Trump because these people are suffering. But the second part might seem a little bit out there, that the felony indictments are gonna help Trump or make him more relatable. Well, I think it actually does for two reasons. One, it actually demonstrates that actually Trump isn't above the law. These people for years were told, everyone was actually told that Trump was a dictator and nothing could be done against him because he's a dictator. He's going to destroy the Constitution. Well, they just convicted him of some bullshit charges. He's a convicted felon. So that kind of gets rid of that point that, oh, he's above the law, that there's nothing we can do. We got to stop the Orange Man. But number two, think about this for a minute. What have Democrats said for years with the justice system? They've been saying and telling black voters for years, it's a rigged system, it's racist, it hates black people, it's un-American, all of that. They've been saying that for like 50 years now. That's a fact. That's all racist, it's a grand conspiracy, they're targeting certain people. Well, that same justice system that's supposedly racist, that's targeting the wrong people and whatever, they're now going after Trump. I am not saying that's going to cause a 50-point shift with black voters, but when you think about it, it's like, wait, this same justice system that they've been saying for years is racist, it's rigged and all of that, it's now targeting a political candidate that's running for president, and not just some random third-party candidate. This is someone that has a legitimate chance at winning. And now, they're going after him. So when you think about it, it's like, wait, these people have been supposedly screwed over for years by the system, which I'm not going to deny. There's definitely some parts of the Justice Department that needs to be looked at, but either way. Now, that doesn't mean I actually believe that the felony indictments are going to cause him to do 50 points better with black voters. I still think, even with the bullshit reason he was convicted, I don't think they're going to vote for Trump just because of that. I do think, though, it's more because of the economy, border security. It might make him seem more relatable because, hey, he could actually be targeted for some legal BS. He's not above the law. It's not like Biden where he can do anything and it wouldn't really matter. Same thing with Obama, Clinton, etc. Donald Trump is so dangerous for Michigan and dangerous for America and dangerous for black people. Michigan Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist II, who's African-American, said Friday, of course, that's the talking point. The Orange Man is a danger to American democracy, so he's so dangerous that we have to throw him in jail. And not just that, but during an election year, it makes you really wonder, like, wait, what's so dangerous about Trump? He was president for 4 years and he didn't do anything, like, supposedly dictatorial like he was supposed to. So, if we have 4 years of him doing nothing dictatorial, do you really think he's going to become, a fascist or whatever? Really? That's all they got. It's the Orange Man is dangerous for American democracy. He's dangerous for the justice system. So, he's going to throw people in jail, so let's throw him in jail first. That's the argument these people are using. And it makes you really wonder, like, are they even trying? Do they actually think this is going to work? Maybe for some Democrats, they're going to believe this crap. But I have doubts that this is going to work for, say, the average voter. The ones that are not, complete partisan hacks. Even with black voters, there are plenty that, they vote Democrat, but they're not, complete hacks about it. There are some like that. So, are they going to vote against Trump just because he's the Orange Man, he's bad? Maybe some of them. But this messaging, as of now, hasn't worked. We see it in the polling. I mean, look right here. 55% of African Americans approve of Biden. That's it. 55%. Compare that with Trump, where 2 in 10 black voters have a very or somewhat favorable view of Trump. And I know that seems low, but for a Republican, 20% is extremely high. While 55% for a Democrat, that's awful. But either way, the state of Michigan is one of those states that I really think we're going to see Trump win come November. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I think at the end of the day, he's probably the favorite as of now. The polling indicates it. Look at this. He's up by 0.3%. This same state, they had Biden winning by like 6 points in 2020. He won it by 3. So let's say the point is off just the same amount. Or hell, let's just say even 1 point off. Well, that gives Trump a 1 point lead. It could be more, it could be less. I understand that, but Trump has been leading in Michigan for what? Almost, what is this, like 10 months now? He's been leading every single day. Either way, we just got to see what happens, but I do think Trump is making a smart move at targeting Michigan. I think it's one of those states that, while it's not must win, if he wins it, he got the presidency. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.